Hello, welcome back. This is Maurice Nimba, and the next step you're going to do on this model where we are creating a structure with a truss with both gables. We've decided to give it a portal frame. Now we want to create tie beams and vertical bracings here. Now we first of all start with tie beams. Now under tie beams, I'll come to beams here and just zoom close to a point where I'll be able to see a red snap you can see on the screen here, and move on the other end also and place and snap on that spot. Right click and terminate that command. Now we want to copy this beam up. Let me just double click on that beam so that you see the properties. This is IPE 180. If you want to change, just click on that button and you'll be taken to a huge catalog of all steel profiles. Now let me just click OK just to get me out of that command. I'll right click and come to special move here, and I'll feed in here 4800 and click move. So if once I've clicked move, it will move to this position, or it will move to this far end here. Now in here, I can create end plate connection there. And first of all, prior to that, let me just place the bracings here, place the vertical bracings. Now I'll come to vertical bracings there and zoom at the bottom end here until I see the red snap right at the bottom end there, and snap right at the midpoint of this particular beam. Let me just move up and down until I see an accurate snap right there. So I'll snap once again on the same spot and move to the bottom end here of this particular beam, column. Right click and terminate that command. So if you take a look close, if you take a closer look here, you can see we have two L-shaped profile or angled profile. So we need back-to-back profile or twin profile angled. So I'll select on this member, then press Ctrl and double click on that member. Then I'll come here. Let me just select one. I want to include it in that selection. Then I'll come here and change that to twin. If I click that, I'll be able to change everything in one go. So the arrangement or the orientation of these members are not the best for me, so I have to change the orientation. So I'll select on that, then I'll select on that member, then press Ctrl Q, and I'll turn it like that. Then press Ctrl Q, and I'll turn that orientation of these two profiles, two back-to-back angled profile. So we have that in place. So the next thing we want to create a simple connection at the bottom end here. So I'll come to bolted gusset plate here. This is the best tool you can apply. Remember, this tool you can apply it in so many connections, not strictly to beam and vertical connection. You can also apply it to column. So let's apply it to column here. Then I'll right click, and you can see a connection has been created, but slightly it needs some modification, because you can see the gusset plate is moving right at the bottom of our base plate. Is not right. I'll select on that gusset plate once again and press letter M and enter on my keyboard and try to modify that so that it fits our requirements. So let me just give it some time to bring the setting dialog box here. Now I'll come to presets here. If I come to presets, I'll pick the brace. This is my type of connection that I've customized on how I can apply it between the vertical bracings and column. So I'll select on that and click load, then click apply. So once I've done so, you'll be able to see that clash or collision has gone. So I'll apply the same thing this far end. So instead of doing the same thing, let me just do it once more so that you see how it works. So I'll come back here and select this column and that column and right click to create a connection right there. So if it needs more connection. Yes, of course it needs. Press letter M and enter on your keyboard right there, and that will bring the setting dialog box or the dialog box for this particular macro. So I'll come to my preset here and pick the right one and load. So the moment I load it here and apply, I'll be able to get some modification that fits what I need. So I'll use the same tool, select on that column or beam and select on this and that, then right click to create a connection right there. So you can see some plates or gusset plates already on this side, and I don't want that. I select on that, press letter M and enter. Then I'll give it some time to bring the setting dialog box. So if it doesn't appear, we just press letter M once again and it will come back. So let me come here and use and apply this gusset plates. So let me just use brace 1 and load that and apply. So I have that in place. So that's how I've done that. Now let's create some end plate connection here. So the end plate connection, this is beam to column. So we'll come to beam to column. I'll come to beam to column here, beam to column connection, and I want to create this. So remember to create a connection where the bolt on this side will not interfere with the bolting on the other side. So different end plates will be much better option. So if I select on that, select on the column and select on that, then right click, and we've done that. So if I click on that and turn that around, I'll be able to see there's no collision, there's no interference with the bolting on this side that will hinder the erection on site. Though I need to add some bolts here. So I'll just select on this member, then press letter M and enter on my keyboard, then try to add more bolts there. Let me check if I have some presets here. I don't have some presets there. I'll come to figure here. So under figure here, I want to add some bolts. So to add bolts here, I'll come there and try to modify this. How many do we need? And we need probably quite a number. So if I come here and this is 32 and I need maybe 3. Let me try add that. So let me just give it 65 and enter that. 75. That's enough. We don't need to add more bolts. This is just for demonstration on how to apply this. So if I come here and select on this member here and press letter M and enter on my keyboard, I want to save this type of connection. So I'll come to preset here and click save as, and I want to type beam, just beam column connection. Column connection. That's it. Beam column connection 1. So I click OK, and if we can edit it further, we can even change that to 80. Let me just type letter M and enter. So if I come here, I can change this to 80 also, then apply and give it an OK. And remember, we can always save these settings. If I go back and do the same thing, just type letter M and enter, because our macro is still active. This is a symbol of the macro. So you can always hide it by clicking on that button here. So we want to save this preset. So if I come to save as here, then I type tie beam, and click OK. I've saved that. So if I once I've saved that, and if I come here and click OK, then I want to apply the same on the opposite direction. So it's always important that apart from cloning, we can also just apply the connection directly, because sometimes the system might take time to process, or sometimes it might maybe crash, and that's the program might fail to process that information. It all depends on the power of your computer, the performance of your computer. Now let me just come back here and select on that. Then I want to create a connection here and here. Then right click to create a connection. So let me just select my point of interest and turn that round. So you can see I have that in place. And probably there's some part that I see there's a lot of at the bottom end here, you can see it's overcrowded, and no problem. Let me just select on that, tap letter M and enter on your keyboard, and we can apply this tie beam connection and click apply and give it an OK. We can go further and maybe get rid of that get rid. Now, once we are done, we've done so, because this is just a demonstration on how we can apply, or how we can use Commosys to do wonders in detailing. So let me just select these members, then right click and come to special copy and copy and select linear. I want to zoom at the bottom end here until I see that red snap and move the other end here. So I'll just mouse over here until I see that red snap symbol. I want to copy this tie beam and the bracing on the other end. So I can select everything here, then right click and come to copy spatial and apply that. So I'll zoom at the bottom end here. Let me just zoom at the bottom end here and snap on that spot and snap here. Snap here. Let me just snap there, and we can see that. So if I go ahead and click copy, and you can give it some time, and everything has been copied. So we can apply the same on that direction. And let's zoom closer, because you can see even the connections have been copied. So if I select on this, then come here and select on that, and try to populate this along the y-axis. Let's try that. Then first of all, don't always forget to save your work. So once you've saved that, I'll right click and come to spatial copy and pick on linear. So under linear, I'll be able to snap at the bottom end here. I'll be able to snap from here. Make sure you mouse over until you see that red symbol of snapping. So then I'll do the same thing here. Just mouse over here until I see that red snap. So it is 6 meters along the y-axis, and we need how many? We need how many? There are how many bays? There are 10. We have 1, 2. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We need 9 of them. So I'll just increase that to 9. So if I come here and click copy, let me come back again and select everything here and select that. And I want to populate this along the y-axis. So if I right click and come to spatial copy, or I just copy one by one. Let me just try a linear copy. Then I mouse over this till I see a red snap right there. Let me just zoom on that spot and zoom and place another one here. So let me just zoom close and snap another one there. So how many do we need? We need 9 of them. So I'll increase this to 9. So once I've taken it to 9, I'll go ahead and click copy. You give it some time to process everything, and everything has been copied. So if you zoom closer, you'll be able to see we have everything in place, plus all the gusset plates in place, and we have everything in place here. So if we turn that around, you can see. Always remember to save your work, because sometimes the system shuts off, and that will be very unfortunate, and will leave you hanging with all the details somehow gone because you've not saved anything. So this how far we've gone, and that's how we can apply the tie beams and create connection at the column base here, to the tie beam, using braces. Let me just turn that around, and you can see the type of connection we've just created. So there's some slightly, we've not created connection here. There's some connection has not been created there. A connection has not been created, but that should not be a worry. We'll be able to create them as you go. So that's how you can do that. So let's meet then on the next presentation. On the next presentation, we'll be placing the the purlins, the roof purlins, and also the gable cladding rails, and all the cladding rails on the next presentation. Thanks, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. This is Maurice Gimba, and bye bye.